Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda. All right, good evening, viewers. How are we? Once again, we haven't even set the studio. Look at this, just late. We got
late.
Yeah, we're always late lately, guys, and it's just a matter of actually being able to get things happening to get a show out. It's yeah, they give us a little bit of curry here in the old Guru studios, I can assure you. Anyway, look, guys, you know, great weekend. As we said, we brought out all the stuff that wasn't so good, but all in all, to see all the Australian people out there, and Frank was up there. I'll bring Frank in now. He's in the studio. He's coming in tonight to have a bit of a chat. But guys, this weekend here in Wollongong, now on the Central Coast, can you flick Frank in, Doc? That we've got the FUCCP, which I like to always think is, yeah, fuck you, the Communist Chinese Party. But, yeah, he does well with his little things that he does, Jody. So we're doing something in Wollongong, guys. We've been telling you about it. Anyone that hasn't got anything to do that'd like to come to Wollongong and join us, thank you. Anyone who hasn't got anything to do would like to go to the Central Coast and join Frank and Belinda. And I'd just like to put out a throw out, actually, Frank, while we're here, mate, to Belinda and Steve. And I don't know the other people that were there on the weekend, but, man, just brilliant, you know. No bullshit, no pissed off. They turned up at Belmore Park to find out that they had to get everything back to the car, get it up to Victoria Park, set it all up again. Stacks of newspapers like this, Light magazine, the whistleblower, everything else that they had there, tables, etc., guys. Not even a whisper of a friggin' murmur of a whinge, you know, just absolute gems, man. Absolute gems. Work hard, guys. So let's get up to the Central Coast this weekend and help Belinda and Frank get the message out there, guys. So, Frank, what are you guys up to, buddy? Fill me in.
Yeah. Obviously, I've got two things to talk about before we get to the news day, but we're doing exactly the same thing as you guys down the Gong. So I'm calling all the cream puffs and everybody from the Central Coast to come and join us. I'll just read the itinerary that we're doing here on the coast, you know, briefly. So it's leave at 9:45 for a convoy to Woy Woy Memorial Park, a short stop for signings and flyers, 30 minutes roughly. Leave at 10:30. Drive through your minor, foreshore to Edlong, Bensville, Kincumber Scenic Route to Terrigal for 30 minutes. And we stop up at Long Jetty in the entrance and back at Adcock Park via Wyoming around 1 p.m. for a game of cricket, bit of a laugh, open mic, some music and a bit of entertainment. So that's what we're doing on the coast. So anyone on the City Coast who aren't doing anything with their dads or want to bring their dad along, to be educated or all the rest of it, we welcome everybody there. And the cream puffs get behind it. That'll be fantastic. And, and like always, Belinda and Steve and the crew, I mean, these guys just don't stop, mate. They work so freaking hard. And I'm glad you mentioned it too, Dave, because, mate, they do it. They grind those gears day in, day out, mate. Yeah. One more thing too, Dave, if I could. Yeah. We've had an update on Dougie. Now,
Dougie, righto, what's happening?
Now, the sad part is Dougie has been medicated against his will. So, but we've got quite a few people that are constantly calling the mental hospital at Gosford, and I'd like people to continue to do that because it's called public pressure and something that they haven't experienced for a while. But on my reports, they have gotten to Dougie. Now, I'll tell you,
Frank, isn't it funny how I'm getting word in that the hospitals are an absolute, a lady had to deliver a child on a couch, all this bullshit going on, yet over here, we got enough staff to go and section somebody under 32 that doesn't even need sectioning, but we can't deliver a fucking baby or give it a bed after it's delivered in the maternity ward. But hey, we can section 32. We got enough people there to do that. Bullshit.
It is all bullshit. And I'll tell you the other thing is, Dave, right? Me and Steve went to, pack up his base camp and get his truck and his trailer organised, right? And some fucking mongrel went and stole his generator and all his electrical equipment. I mean, this guy is on the bread line, literally on the bread line. This is the Central Coast, mate. It's not bad enough that the neighbours didn't want him in their neighbourhood, let's face it, and he wasn't harming anybody, right? But they're going freaking knock his stuff off as well at the same time. Charming. Anyway,
when we can get him out of there, we might be able to help him out and get a few things replaced for him, Frank. Let's see what we can't do, mate. We've always, we know a lot of people, so that's good. A lot of stuff goes behind the scenes, guys, that you wouldn't even see, all right? No. Stuff just comes in the back door here and, help is given because that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? That's how we get through this frigging thing.
Yeah, we do, mate.
That's what we do as Aussies. We look after one another.
Yeah.
So, we've always had each other's backs. Look, Wade's reporting from Canberra. He's got stuff going on there. So let's have a look at what he's up to.
Well done to everybody who's taken part and done the right thing and just represented our country. What we're doing here in Canberra today, I've done a live with regard to the Labor Party. Some of the politicians we've tried to get onto are just arrogant twats, but anyway, we're going to chase them.
We know.
We're looking at Charlotte Walker, a senator from South Australia, Lisa Chesters, Bendigo House of Reps, Mark Butler, who's the Australian Health Minister, he's a House of Reps, and Dan Repiccioli, member for Hunter, he's also in the reps. So we're trying to get some interviews with these politicians, but our old mate Charlotte Walker, who she wrote back to us and said the interviews that Billboard Battalion want to do, they're not going to do it with us because it's of self-interest to Billboard Battalion. Not happy with that, so we'll start livening the Labor Party and many of these Greens and so on for what they are. And right now we're getting to do interviews with the likes of Malcolm Roberts and some of the Conservative side. So that's good. That's what we want to hear. We want to hear the truth and honesty from these people. So there's a lot happening here. The times that we're going into Parliament, many of these people are a disgrace. They are a joke. But I will say that we're starting to see more of the coalition politicians are starting to talk to us. As I said, Malcolm Roberts, Pauline Hanson, the One Nation team are really, really being great. We've also spoken to a number of the other politicians. Senator Ralph Babette from Victoria has been absolutely fantastic, and his team are great. So we're chasing some of the others as well, Alex Antic and a number of the other ones that I think should be able to talk to us. But there's some very serious issues here. We see the Labor Party and the Greens yelling and screaming at Malcolm Roberts with regard to housing policy. You know, housing is incredibly important here. This is something that we really, really have to be on. And, you know, one of the things that the Labor Party tell us is that, you know, they're building all these houses. Well, it seems to be a bit sceptical as to whether they're actually doing what they say, whether they're just buying up houses themselves and supporting foreign companies to do what they call build to rent. Now, that means that foreign companies are given massive tax incentives that Australian people don't get, and these foreign companies build these massive big housing projects for them to own and for Australians to rent, not to own. So we're starting to push hard on this because these people they're just liars. They're setting you up for disaster.
That's not even doing that, you know. But anyway, that's one thing that's going on. But it's not for Aussies to rent, mate. I can assure you. I hate to correct you, Wade, but it's for the immigrants to rent, mate.
Yeah. And, all right, well, we might actually go to that, will we?
In, Caz. Yeah, bring it in.
Continuous dialogue with Australia, and now they inform us that there is a shortage of 1 million homes in Australia, 1 million homes, which they need to build like yesterday. That's the sense of urgency. And they want to invite all of you. They're willing to help with financial support, to help you develop your businesses in Australia. They're willing to allow you to take all the different technical expertise, whether it's masons, electricians, plumbers, whatever professions or skills are required to build those million homes. They're willing to get give full access to Australia from Indian experts, Indian skilled labor. They're also willing to train them in the initial period so that they get certified for Australian standards. And if we miss the bus, if we don't catch this opportunity, we will only have ourselves to blame.
So
I don't remember voting for this.
No.
$500 million or something. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but approximately $500 million to build 500,000 houses to house Indian immigrants. Are you fucking? And I'm not excusing my.
It's
French
outrageous.
There.
No, it's outrageous.
Excuse it, Dave. I'm telling you now.
No, it's outrageous. Like, look, they're the biggest traders, and for that alone, we need to actually, like, seriously look at marching on Canberra and saying, you know, guys need to stand down. Like, it's just completely and utterly unacceptable. It is not what we want, the people want, and it's very obvious that it's not what we want after the weekend.
No.
And then, you know, you got Penny Wong in the Senate inquiry where she was asked relentlessly about the housing crisis, right? And she couldn't even. She was curtailing and not even answering the question.
Yeah.
But this is a question that this guy, if you listen intently to that conversation, the first thing he said was the Masons. You know, like, I know they're stonemasons, you know what I mean? Yeah. But he mentioned Masons in the first one, then it was electrical, then it was everything else, then all the rest of it, right? But honestly, Dave, mate, we've got Mumbai landing on our doorstep faster than we can actually blink right now. Fuck, this nation needs to wake up, mate. I'm telling you now.
All right. Well done, Wade. Stay in there, down there, Blake. You're in the Vipers pit, mate. And keep us updated and just keep punching, bro. Just keep swinging.
That's it. Well, Two Worlds Collide, he's my new favourite. He's actually weighed in on that as well.
Economic Times, India's Commerce and Industry Minister, Mr. Goyal, revealed he's in deep negotiations with the Albanese government. And get this, The deal? To build 1 million homes in Australia. Price tag, $500 billion. And who's building them? Not your sons and daughters, not your nieces and nephews. Indian immigrant workers flown in and trained to our standards. What the hell is happening? And who's paying for it? Or some foreign Gulf state money. And if you're already not furious enough, this is going to put you over the edge. This wasn't announced in Canberra, it was announced in Mumbai. Not to you, not to the Australian people. And this is what happens when a country is flat broke. We can't even back our tradies, our builders, our own people to build our homes in our country. Our own government doesn't even have the confidence in Australians to get the bloody job done. And you've got to ask yourself this, is this really about building homes? Or is this just another avenue to flood the place with people, hidden under a shiny new banner of housing affordability? Because make no mistake, this is a sellout of Australia. Not policy, not leadership, just weakness and betrayal. You want to see public outrage? Pull the trigger on this deal. If you thought the marches on the weekend were small, Albo, wait until you practically piss the entire country off with this deal. Tradies, contractors, small builders, and the families that they support. You'll practically unite an entire country. And they won't stay quiet on this one. These men and women in the building industry have hardened hands from decades of heavy lifting, backs broken from heavy work, and patience worn thin by an industry that is buried in red tape, where they can barely move on site without a form, without a permit, or another bureaucrat coming in telling them how to do a job they've done for their entire life. And now the government wants to tell them that they're not good enough to build their own goddamn country. That's not just insulting, that's a flat out betrayal of the Australian people. This government has no backbone. We are drowning in $900 billion worth of debt, forecasted to be 1.4 trillion in 2029. And instead of making the tough hard calls like they should be doing, they refuse to cut spending, refuse to back Australians, and their only answer? Let's flood the nation with more people and then tax everyone into oblivion. That's not progress. That's a slow death of a country. And this points to a broken nation. One without a backbone to make the decisions needed to get us out of this vicious cycle of debt. We are broke. We can't even build our own homes. So now we look overseas. Instead of looking to your sons and daughters, your nieces and nephews, but to foreign workers, the very own houses our families should be building. That's not leadership. That's not progress. That's the biggest sellout this nation has ever seen. What's your
Wow.
Yeah.
All in a nutshell.
We just got to get it out there, guys. So share the show, get it out there, send it out there. All right. This, this news show has become more diabolical in the last 6 months. It's just incredible, man. It's just bad news on every element. Good news that we're winning and waking up and we're going really well and we're in the fight and we're hammering them in certain areas. You know what I mean? It's
And that's it. Yeah.
It was always going to get rocky, and people just got to buckle up. But more importantly, they've got to actually stand up, Dave. The minute we say no, it's all over.
Yeah.
It's not hard. Yeah. When we actually hold them to ransom, it's a whole different ball game then, right? And we've got time before those immigrants come to start building those freaking, shanty towns in Sydney, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, and on the 13th, I'm sure that there won't be anyone walking the NSN in hand into this rally, that's for sure.
That's exactly right. Look, if they want to have their own rally, they can have it, and they can have it somewhere else. Okay, but I will not be putting out any flyers. Okay, bottom line is, I believe that they're plants, and I've got evidence to prove it, and I will not back down on this. Okay. No. Now, in the meantime, Theresa Van Leishart, she's running for Governor General. This is a little bit of her promo clip.
They'll arrest her.
Yeah, they've already done that, so.
Yeah.
Now, I can't play the music, but anyway, she's got her promo clip there. Also, apparently Desi is missing because the local people are helping him. I wonder what the state of the relationship between the police and the people are if they can't find him because people are harbouring him.
The run in Victoria's high country.
As the manhunt nears the end of its 7th day, they've again urged anyone who might be hiding the fugitive to urge him to surrender. Isabel Quinlan has today's developments.
Weapons drawn, heavily armed police move in. Aerial support hovering above this pine plantation on the outskirts of Pawnpukka, a new area of interest in the hunt for accused gunman Desi Freeman.
If he's out there, they're going to find him. They're not going to quit. They're not going to give up.
Former officer and friend of detective leading Senior Constable Neil Thompson says the terrain they are searching through is extreme.
It's not like looking for a needle in a haystack. It's looking like looking for a needle in 1,000 haystacks.
Police have
All right, so you've got that. Now you've also got this. One Glue put this out today.
Police declared war on Australians. I think Ned Kelly would agree with you on that one.
Would. Standing up against corrupt officials.
Yeah, plenty of those around these days.
Especially in the last year.
Yeah, that's
really
right.
come out of the woodworks, haven't they?
Oh, haven't they what? And more people keep waking up to that fact, yeah?
Yeah, this is just a complete scam. The whole COVID thing is a scam. Being used to create a tyrannical Australia. And that's what we're doing here today. We're standing up against it.
Yeah, we'll just have a look at some of those other banners. A few scenes of that. To do with vaccines. To do with lies. Where the rubber meets the road is at the hands of the police. Yeah? So this banner is a challenge, not so much an accusation, it's a challenge to the police. Are you going to declare war on Australians, or are you going to start serving and protecting the people and obeying the law, all of the laws which you continuously are breaking these days?
I think that was actually Desi filming that.
I'll tell you another thing, though. Apparently, the witness statement numbers that were actually filmed on Dougie's phone have disappeared. So there you go, mate.
Arseholes.
Yep. So the filth are in a panic, mate, is what I say.
Yep.
You're in a panic.
We know that. Yep,
Yeah.
we're exposing them. Yeah.
That's it. And of course, you've got this about the machete ban.
Thanks to everyone that's contacted me about the machete bin mystery. Because of you guys, we're getting closer to solving this. I've got some new updates for you. One of my followers on Instagram sent me this picture of the bins at a facility in Laverton, so we tracked it down where it was. And here it is, and there's a prisoner transport facility right out the front. And if you zoom in, guess who owns it? G4S, the same company that owns the Mount Gambier and owns and runs the Mount Gambier prison. This lends a lot of weight to the theory that they were made in Mount Gambier. But we've also had another person contact us that lends theory to it also being built in another place. More on that later.
Good on you. Wow.
Well, yeah, let's get it out there.
And I can confirm that too, Dave. When I was filming out at Darrick Boy's home, which is now a penitentiary there, I can tell you now the staff rotation was all foreign imports, right?
Yeah.
So you go there at 4 o'clock on the turnaround, and it was this Indian. It was, it was all full of Indians, mate. There you go.
Yeah, well, that's what's being done to the country at the moment. You know what I mean? They've done it quite well. You know.
Yep.
That's it. Now, Albert opened his mouth about how it was not very big.
Weren't big numbers in the scheme of things in a nation of almost 27 million people, let's be clear here.
So you do think this is a tiny proportion of the Australian population
Well,
that has this anti-immigration sentiment?
That shows that was the case. But of almost 27 million people.
What a joke.
So you do think
Right.
this is a tiny proportion?
I know. Oh dear. All right. So now let's just recap a bit. So I had a look at this footage, and I actually had a look at most of the 16 minutes of the footage. Okay. Now I'll show you why.
What the fuck are you doing? Stay back! Hey, leave her alone. What the fuck are you doing? Stay back!
So that's them. However, the notice have put out this, and it's basically that the reason why they attacked the camp was because apparently the people in the camp had sprayed Nazi on their cars or written Nazi on their cars. So now I don't know if that's true or not. I actually had a look at the whole of the footage, and there wasn't anything to suggest that they were angry about that. Look,
Well,
or
that'd
that
be
they
part of a
the camp had
scripted
actually done it.
scene. Part of a scripted scene, wouldn't it? But anyway,
Well,
yeah, go.
Hey, Dave, you and I have had our fair share of fisticuffs in our day, right? There's no way in the world they were going in hard, mate, on that one, man. I can tell you now. There's no way, mate.
There's a lot to be, yeah.
That leads me to my next thing. So apparently Thomas Sewell happened to come across Jacinta Allen, who was giving a press conference in Melbourne in the middle of freaking winter, or at the end of winter, in a park, okay, on his way to court. So have a look at this.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way, mate. Get out of the way.
Hey, Jacinta, don't put
Get out
your
of the
hands on
way.
me.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
Jacinta Allen,
Get out
why
of the
don't
way.
you think you're straight? Don't put your fucking hands on me.
Get out of the fucking way.
Don't put your fucking
Get out of the
hands on
fucking
me.
way.
Yeah, you don't have the right. I'm at a safe distance. You don't have to put your hands on me. Hey, Jacinta
Alright.
Allen, why don't Australians have the right to protest? Why don't Australians have the right to protest? Why do you want to ban us for protesting? Shouldn't we have the right to speak in our own country, you coward? Shouldn't we have the right to speak in our own country, you coward? Had your goons attacked me? You're a coward. And we're going to take this country back from politicians like you. I never see anyone shake your hand. I had 500 people come up to me and shake my hand on the weekend, and there was 50,000 of us. Thank you.
I think that's a bit over the top, but anyway.
How much? How much
just
you getting paid, mate?
Yeah.
Well, it is interesting because then he went to court this afternoon, and one of the television stations, it was actually, what was it? One of the media happened to be there. Now, we've been trying to get the media into courts and outside of courts of that for ages, but oh no, but they just happen to be here. So apparently there were 3 of them arrested. This is where it gets really interesting.
3, was it? Okay.
This is where it gets interesting, though. If you look at the timeline, something really doesn't add up. So he has basically assaulted that many people. So 2016, assaulted Channel 7 reporter. 2017, attempts to recruit Brendan Tarrant, the Christchurch mosque shooter. 2021, 38 members of the European Australian movement gather and perform Nazi salutes and burn a cross.
That's his rap sheet, guys.
Yeah. So, like, look, the amount of things he's convicted of intentionally causing injury and an affray at Channel 9, sentenced to 4 years, 9 months with 2 years, 6 months non-parole. Outside of court, he gives a Nazi salute. 26, he's banned from Sydney CBD. Look, there is absolutely no way that he's not in jail. He shouldn't be. Like, how is it that he can get away with it when they'd lock us up for basically pretty much anything? You know,
radio
and here he
station.
is.
Yeah.
Ringing a radio station. Now, the other thing that's very interesting as well is that this boy here, so he is, so Solo Monk has put out here that the last time the Nazi thug Nathan Bull, a prominent member of the NSN and son of Victoria police officer, marauded through the city, giving he got high fives from his dad, Victoria police mates. So there you would have a possible Mason connection. You've also got the Craig Cole put out that Hugo was Hugo's father, having the amount of property that he has, and being the size of a property developer that he has, would basically have to be almost, you'd assume that he'd be a Mason. And then you have this little tidbit, which I find extraordinarily interesting. Now, this is by the Australia First, I think it is, Australia First Party. Now, it's the headline is the neo-Nazi leader has Jewish connections. Now, not only does he have Jewish connections with his family, but he's actually studied. Now, here he is. Here, this is Joel Davis. I think that's him there, they say. He's in the back there. Now, he studied under them for bringing about something called accelerationism. And it's basically where they take down a society by creating sort of like a civil war, like being a disruptor.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting article. So it's
chaos
actually
agents, guys. Chaos agents.
And their purpose was to infiltrate the left and the extreme left and the extreme right. What's interesting about that is Joel says that he was once in Antifa and then he basically became he joined the NSN. So they infiltrate and they're to steer things in the direction that they want. So very interesting. I'll pop this article into the chat if anyone would like to have a read of it. It's actually it's long, but it's actually very, very interesting.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
Looks like the Masonic filth have their own central casting by the looks of things, mate.
Yeah, exactly right, mate. Yeah, I'm sure they have. They could be running low on numbers, but
I can't actually post that. How interesting is that? All right, guys, I'll send it over to Mel and Mel can put it up on the website. Now, carrying on from that, we have this situation. Brendan, everybody knows Brendan. He stands at the Governor General's. Okay, here he is trying to give a speech.
No more division. Sick of this shit. But at the end of the day.
I'm just going to stop it there, guys. I want you to pay attention to that. So as a director, when you are working with large crowds, you have to rehearse something like that. What they're saying is Australia for the white man, the rest must go. That is a lot when you are working with crowds. That would have to have been rehearsed.
Yep.
So what they've done is they've stacked the crowd at the front so that it looks like everyone is in agreement with what. That's why all the people at the back left, because they were disgusted with what was going on.
Yep.
Let's have a look at the rest of it.
No more division. Sick of this shit. But at the end of the day, these people. You men in black go home. So anyway, at the end of the day, these are people.
Come on, let everyone speak. Come on. It's open mic, guys, and free speech. Just let him have a go, right?
These are people who are so powerful. Every Monday at the Governor's House of New South Wales, we should be going there at 11 a.m. because people in numbers are powerful together. Bring your information, bring the evidence you've got, be open mind, and go to the Governor, who is the boss of New South Wales, and tell Margaret Beasley, the Governor of corporate New South Wales, who you are, what you know, and you know what's going on. Going on.
Hey, can you
At the end of the day, there is nothing.
You're right next to the stage.
In the end, it is up to you, the people. Like today, you all came in numbers. How powerful do you feel?
Now, after that, Mona got up to speak to tell them about what could be done as far as putting the elected officials on fiduciary notice, and they basically started crying out to deport her. Mona, who has been fighting the government, the bad guys, for years. Now, these people are not interested in peaceful solution. Remember this, okay? They're out for civil war, I believe, okay? This is my opinion from looking at it. They want to foment their own term on their podcast was accelerationism. Where can you find that word, accelerationism? Katz and Yuval wrote it in their book.
Yep.
Okay.
It's not what we stand for. It's not who we are as Australians. These people are traitors.
They are.
In my opinion. These people are traitors.
Yep. They are indeed. You know, their whole thing, you know what? And they're all kids. These are kids.
Yeah, I know.
What have they done in their life right now?
Yep. That's what I mean. It was very well planned in secrecy and to keep so-called people like us out. You know what I mean? So that could you imagine if I was talking up there and the MSN tried to come in, Frank? I'd be probably locked up now because they wouldn't have got a mic off me, mate, if I was up there.
We would have catapulted ourselves off that table into it, mate.
Yeah, well.
But anyway, it is
Come
what
on!
it is.
Bring it on!
It is what it is.
Now, Scotty, he basically isolated and got rid of him straight away, okay? And he is actually being hammered by some of these people online, okay? And he's just basically put it out there that it's just absolutely, you guys are absolutely ridiculous to think that you could actually, like, it's just a fantasy. It's a 1930s cosplay he's actually identified it as. And it is, okay? Like, I'm not saying that there are not people that need to go back, okay? But like Australia only for the white men, we've had so many people that have contributed to the growth of Australia. Like, hello.
Doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out who needs to be deported and who doesn't. It's not hard at all.
No.
That's it. Now, just on that as well, you've got this little thing. Now, Dave, you might recognise this lovely little toy that they've got. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
Weapon.
I think that's a sound one, actually.
Yeah, sound one. Yeah. That's for sure. Yep.
No, it's a speaker.
But they don't use weapons on us, you know. They just don't do that. They wouldn't use military-grade weapons on the Australian people, would they?
Yeah. Why don't they wear robes and white hoods? I mean, you know, you might as well. You like your white so much, you know, why don't you robe up and put a hood on over your head, right, and cut out a few eyeballs in there, you know?
Well, that's interesting. Now, what is really fascinating and very, very positive, moving in exactly the right direction now, is that so what's happened is Trump has put out the warp speed. So he has admitted that warp speed needs to be investigated and that the vaccines are not safe and effective. So for those that have been looking into the Q operation, we know that basically what they did was they swapped it out. The military had developed a good vaccine, and that's not what the pharmaceutical companies ended up using. So he's actually called for the investigation of it. So he's actually called for the investigation of himself with regards to this, which is actually a positive thing. So
he's going to expose it. Yep. There's a lot going on, guys. There's a hell of a lot going on.
And this little tidbit here. Now, I wonder why Kirill. So Kirill is very, very close to Putin. So Kirill has basically retweeted this, and he's written President Trump reposted Q plus post. So soon we covered this last night. The world will still understand nothing can stop what is coming, and it's Q plus there. And Vladimir Putin's special envoy for Russia shared this image. Now, why would he do that when the whole of the Q drops talks about Xi, Putin, and Trump working together as a triumvirate to take down the cabal?
That's how I got into podcasting. That was my theory 5 years ago. Yeah.
And, you know, that's your commander-in-chief, folks.
Very interesting, isn't it?
Q plus.
This guy here, I've only just discovered him on TikTok, but we've got so many newbies popping up that I like to promote them because, like, for so long there wasn't very many people doing it.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you notice the handshake that never happened? Albanese left standing there, ignored. That wasn't bad timing. It was deliberate. A message. A shot across the bow. It told the world that some leaders are tied to the old guard, the black hats, the deep state that's kept nations like ours in chains. And others refuse to play their game. The white hats do not shake hands across that line. Here's the reality. Australia has been treated as a testing ground. Media, finance and politics all moving to the same tune. And as 2025 winds down, they'll throw everything at us. Financial stress, culture wars, storms and disasters use as headlines for more control. That's the playbook. Divide, distract, demoralise. And it only works if we play along. So what do? We don't take the bait. Don't waste your spirit on their traps. Instead, build quiet strength. Get out into nature. It clears the fog and sharpens the spirit. Read old books, wisdom that they cannot censor. Pray, meditate, choose light over darkness every day. Support your neighbours, your farmers, your local community. Every act of unity is a blow against the cage. Across the world, the tide is turning. The black hats are being exposed. The white hats are stepping forward. And Australia will not be left behind. That cold shoulder to Albanese wasn't weakness. It was a warning. A shot across the bow. The old guard's time is running out. Yes, the storm is upon us, but so is the dawn. Australia is more than a testing ground. We are meant to be a stronghold. The next few months decide if we step into that role or stay stuck in the cage. Stay awake, stay united. Choose light over darkness. Because the storm isn't the end, it's the beginning. Fieldcraft instinct. Prepare for the storm. Share this message and follow for more.
It's yeah. Look, we've got some crazy times coming up, yeah. And the more, and as I've said before, guys, this is much a silent arm wrestle is what it is, a silent war, and we just got to keep the pressure on, because once you release pressure, and the other side, it starts to get on top. So we got a little bit of flow on now. So yeah, let's get united and let's get out there on the streets and let's let them know. I'm keen.
That's it.
I mean, there were some really good positives on the weekend, Dave. I mean, we there's a lot of people that are ready to really get in there and get involved now. So regardless of the idiots there, you know what I mean? So
yeah, look, and a lot of people need educating, because as we were stopping around the place, a couple of boys I had with me were asking, my mate, he's just straight up, mate. He just asks questions to people, you know what I mean? And there was a lot of people there that were very naive to what actually is going on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but anyway, they're there now and they can be educated. And that's where I think it was a downfall in Sydney that we didn't have the right sort of speakers to actually, you know what I mean? Like, Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's done now. We move on to whatever's coming up next. And, we get into it. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. So yeah, we think I don't know the name of this song. Somebody sent it to me, but there's no name attached to it, so I do apologise to whoever has done it, put it together. So it's just on Australia. So Franco, if you'd like to have some final words, and Dave can wrap up and close the show.
Well, that last clip that you just put on, it was almost like an epiphany for me because it was something I spoke about today, and so that was a confirmation for me just now, just listening to that last clip. Lastly, I just want to say, guys, look, come on, let's get out on the coast. CCUP, FUCCP. I've already explained what we're doing, so come and join us. All the cream puffs, get on board. Let's have a day out for the day, and let's have some fun. We can have fun in this moment, and you know what? We should be celebrating some of the victories we've actually been having. So that's it for me, Dave. Then we'll keep pushing forward, brother.
Well, as you can see, guys, more drama has been added to the script today, you know what I mean, with what's gone on. So don't let it get you too riled up, guys. Don't let it get you too off target. All right, we got a thing to do here, and that is wake up your neighbour, wake up your street, okay? Wake up your city, all right? Because I'm telling you, there's changes coming to our council meetings too. On my trip to get some Boric, they're coming in now. They are going to give the Lord Mayors the power to oust people like Frank and myself. Okay, so then they're going to have the police standing beside him. The Lord Mayor says she doesn't want you there. Guess what? You're gone. But I've also heard that they're not allowed to have their secretive pre-meetings anymore, Frank.
Oh, okay.
But if they don't have their secret pre-meetings, they'll just have the ability to kick you out when you say something about what they're talking about. Yes, Caz?
No, that's good. I just think people are open for the conversations, guys. They want, and you guys have all been, because you've been with us for so long now, you've got like a degree or a double degree or a master's degree in what's really going on. So get out there and be
Yeah.
confident and give the people the information that they're desperately looking for.
Yeah.
And one other thing, Dave, if they do kick us out of their chambers, mate, like I did last time when I got kicked out, I took the megaphone out of the boot of the car and just started to have, a rant outside the building. So it didn't make any difference.
Yeah. Yeah, and hey, well done to the Queensland crew too, because the NSN didn't get a look in up there, guys. So Bender and whoever, Scotty and that up there, well done. Jumped on them straight away. Whoever it was, I don't know, but that's the way it should happen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody.
See yous.
He stood with a smile, but his words were a disguise. Our prime minister, a puppet, a master of lies. Signed away the heartland, sold out overseas. Australia's soul shackled down on its knees. Give us back our country, let the people stand. This is our home, our blood, our land. Diggers didn't fight for a flag to fall. We are Australia, we'll rise through it all. Overseas migrants with their greedy hands, buying up houses, tearing through lands. The working man's voice is drowned in the noise of money and power, of stolen choice. Give us back our country, let the people stand. This is our home, our blood, our land. Diggers didn't fight for a flag to fall. We are Australia, we'll rise through it all. Stop the spin, the lies, the game. Stop dividing in our name. Truth is stronger, hearts won't bend. This is our fight, we'll defend. Time to reclaim what's been stripped away. United we stand, together we say. No more oppression, no more deceit. The spirit of freedom can't accept defeat. Give us back our country, let the people stand. This is our home, our blood, our land. Diggers didn't fight for a flag to fall. We are Australia, we'll rise through it all. Let the voices rise, let the people be heard. Stand up for justice, spread the word. Resilience of spirit, it echoes through time. In unity we rise, in rebellion we shine. Give us back our country, let the people stand. This is our home, our blood, our land. Diggers didn't fight for a flag to